This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Indeed. It's absolutely true. We have to start out this morning. I haven't asked them yet, so I'll ask them now. Did you two guys watch the debate last night?
I did not, but I saw the fact-checking sheets that came out, and it looked like it was a doozy of a debate.
Yeah, I was flipping it on when the Wild game was either in a commercial break or in between periods. So I actually think I watched more than the 15 minutes or so I guesstimated yesterday.
Right.
It was a debate. It was one of the debates of all time, is what I'll say.
Of all time? What do you mean?
It happened.
Yep. It did happen.
Occurred.
See, I thought it was not all that bad. They showed some courtesy to one another, which never happens in politics anymore.
Yeah, and that's what I think. That's what happens when you get two Midwesterners up on stage
Well,
together.
that's good. No, you might be right about that. I mean, there's no question about it. Walz shakes off nerves in vice presidential debate, finishes feisty on fate of democracy. Democratic Governor Tim Walz held up Minnesota as an example to follow during his first and only debate with Republican Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio. I don't know. I watched the whole debate with Catherine, watched the entire hour and 45 minutes. I thought it was going to be an hour long.
I did too. I kept flipping it over. It's like, wow, this is still on. They're still talking.
I thought they handled each other very well. They moved toward one another in some things, disagreed on other things. I mean, it seemed real instead of fake political bullshit to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both guys probably had a couple of the gotcha moments, use your own judgment as to who had more of them. But for the most part, it was a nice change of pace from, I think, what we've had over the past, 4 to 8 years, where it's just insults and we have to mute mics and all this stuff. So.
You said to 48 years? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 48, 4 to 8.
Not 4 to 8, 48. No, I thought it was interesting. I mean, you get support from both sides. If you liked Walz, if you liked J.D. Vance, I mean, they were very, very pleasant. And of course, the moderators had to try to cheat, which I don't know why they have to do that. And both candidates, as a matter of fact, both Walz and Vance said, well, I thought we weren't going to do this. I thought we weren't going to, try to correct things as we went along. But no, she had to do it. She had to try. Let's fact check. And they both at the same time said, I thought we weren't going to fact check. We're going to move forward.
Did it happen on multiple occasions? Because I only saw one instance. Okay, so I only saw the instance where J.D. Vance brought up that, which I think it's so weird that you can agree to do these debates and there's no fact checking. Because to me, and this is just my personal opinion, when you get finished with a statement, they say a fact and you say, I thought we weren't supposed to fact check. That says, why can't I lie?
Right.
That's my interpretation of it. Yeah. Because you're getting in a presidential debate, you're on national television. Why are we not fact checking your statements?
Because they go way too far to one side or the other. People on television are the worst human beings on the face of the earth, particularly people on national television. These news people on national television are dreadful. It's what I believe, and if you believe something else, then I hate you. And all my look, television has driven us to the point of anger, at which we are right now, because they just love to see us in turmoil. They love that. I thought the debate was good last night. They made some points one another. They both took a couple of shots. The women were horrendous, but other than that, and it's not because they were women; they were commentators. These commentators are all terrible. You agree to things, and then who's the first one to break the rule? The network people? That makes no sense to me. Look, we're going to get through this. Somebody's going to get elected. We're going to live. You'll still be able to breathe, oxygen. That'll be good. I thought it was much better than the presidential debate. I thought it was a lot better because those two, when you get Trump and Harris going after each other, it is just vile as hell.
Yeah, there's a lot more cordiality. I'm not sure the word there, but they show a little more respect for each other.
No question.
They found some middle ground, and I wouldn't say that I necessarily had a shining opinion of J.D. Vance just from like clips and stuff I had seen.
Because you're a communist,
but he actually came off more likable last night.
He did. You're absolutely right. He did.
So
I think to everybody.
Yeah, and that's where I think maybe honestly Walz had a downfall, which is like he related to him and found some ground. But to me, it was the tactic of trying to separate JD Vance from Donald Trump. Because at the end of the day, like the vice president gets their duties delegated by the president. Like
Correct.
They have a say, but they don't necessarily have that like executive power. So it was an interesting tactic.
I thought it went as well as it could go. I really did. I learned a couple of things, and I actually liked both people a lot better. Not one or the other, both. I liked them both better after I watched that debate.
Definitely.
I'd love to get Tim Walz's son on the show. For Christ's sake, he had to watch a murder when he was 17 years old. Witnessed a murder. Yeah,
that sounded like something that was maybe an on-the-fly decision from Walz. Like JD Vance was like, I had no idea that happened. I hadn't heard that covered at all. So that's awful that he witnessed that. I think he said it like a community center.
Community center.
Terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's be a one hell of a show. And by the way, I thought they both at that time, Walz and Vance, handled that very well. Actually showed sympathy towards someone whose son, that's got to be tough, man. You're 17 years old and watch somebody get murdered. It's got to be very, very. So, hey, I left with a better opinion of both guys. I don't know if I should have, but I did. I thought most politicians are the lamest lying bastards on earth, and they're in it for the money. At least some of this last night was very, very cordial, and I really enjoyed that. I really did.
It was a nice change of pace. It kind of reminded me what, like, I remember maybe the 2008 debates to be with McCain and Obama, where there was that respect for each other, but we're still going to disagree on some of the heavy topics.
Yep. So we'll see how it all washes out, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be like I said, it was a pleasant surprise. Was everything right down the line? No, there were some things that were kind of hedged and other things that were kind of, I don't know. I guess they were blown up a little bigger than they actually are. But all in all, I thought it was very, very decent. The hosts, as I said, of the debate were not very good. They wanted to find things to go after people about, but there was nothing to go after people about, which I kind of liked the fact that, they were looking for stuff. Well, let me just, no, it says right on the front of the thing, you're not going to do that. And she did it anyway. I don't know why. Look, we're going to live through, no matter who gets elected president and vice president of the United States, we're going to live through it because we've lived through all other ones. We've had some horrendous presidents in the past. You've had a few good ones. We'll get through this. I just think young people, particularly watching these two men be cordial to one another, was huge. I really do think it was. Maybe we could learn something. Hey, which is why I'll give you an example. I brought this up several times in interviews. Tom, why don't you go after your opponents like everybody? They go after you and they go after each other. I said, why would I want to do that? Why would I? Look, if you're better than I am, you're going to hand me my ass. Then I'll, there it is. But if you're going to try to go at it this way, I'll win every time because you look like a complete asshole. You know. I just don't see the upside in going after people and going after people and going after people. It's just like, yeah, we heard about that, whatever, right? Hopefully we can live in a much more civil world in the future because the hatred is, again, we're sitting there watching the vice presidential debate and there are bombs dropping all over the Middle East. It's like, Jesus. And we only got a couple of seconds left, but what the hell are we going to do about this situation? Between Iran and Israel, and now other people want to get involved. This cannot escalate. This is not good news.
Yeah, it feels like every day you turn on the news, there's another group that's inserted themselves and they're upset with somebody else. And it's at this point hard to keep straight as far as who hates who and what's going on.
Why I like the fact that when you said who hates who, you looked at him, not me. So that was good.
Oh, yeah.
I felt better about it.
Me and AJ have a beef.
Yeah.
You got a beef, too.
Yeah. After we walked past you on the way out yesterday, Tom.
Oh.
He shoulder checked me into the wall in the hall.
I knew it.
And then I ran.
Yeah. Just
sprinted away.
Loser!
He sprinted away from
Eat my dust.
Yeah, sprinted away. I'm glad to hear that. But so I don't know. I don't know what you're going to read, but I got to be honest with you. I just didn't like either candidate before last night. I thought they both walked away doing a pretty damn good job. So it wasn't, I didn't want to sit there. Look, there were fabrications. There always are. Oh, that's not true. It's like, settle down, relax. We'll get there. But yeah, if Tim Walz' son, what's his name? Do you know Tim Walz' son's name?
Gus.
Oh, it is Gus.
Yep.
Okay, when Gus calls in, because I'm sure he's a listener.
And naturally, yes.
Just tell him we'll be talking about that's got, look, I wasn't there for any of it, but, having 3 of my uncles murdered, one before I was even born, and then the other 2 were after I was born. One was thrown off a roof, and the other was beaten to death with a pipe. We have different lives, and I really wish that people would understand we do not all grow up together. There are things, look, I can talk about my uncles being murdered and growing up poor as hell and, starved to death half the time. My father's in a mental institution. It was paradise concerned, when you compare it to other families in that neighborhood. I mean, seriously, no matter how bad it is, somebody's got it worse, and we need to understand that. I really wish we would. That would make a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
So calm down. Everything's cool. I did not grow up like you did. You didn't grow up like I did. Relax. We'll work it out. And these 2 guys showed last night, at least at some level, they could work it out. I was very, very impressed with that. Right?
Yeah, they did a very good job. And hopefully that's a sign of things to come where we can start to come together a little bit and at least be cordial.
I hope so. And then look, I've got a job ahead of me, because if we can get the Democrat and Republican parties to be cordial, and then we can get, Packer fans and Viking fans to be cordial, all I would have left is trying to get my wife to be cordial. And then we'd be totally covered. Everything would be good. You know what I love about her so much?
Mm-hmm.
She'd look at me once in a while and go, oh my God. Shakes her head like, oh God, really? This is it, huh?
Yep.
Yes, dear. That's all I have to say to you, sister. We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. A lot of stuff to talk about today. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by that debate last night. They, wasn't perfect, but it was damn good. Hi, this is Tom Barnard from Livia Weight Control Centers. Your success story starts today. Join Livia's doctor-recommended and award-winning nutrition program and get your first 8 weeks free. You could lose up to 20 pounds or more in your first 8 weeks. Plus, Livia offers weight loss medications to accelerate results. Receive personalized one-on-one guidance, plus expert nutrition and medical support. Livia is the destination for all weight loss solutions. Trust me when I say this, Livia works. I'm going to go and see them tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I got to do my weigh-in, and I put on like 6-7 pounds because of weightlifting. And Tevin and I have been talking about that. I'm going to probably have to back off the weightlifting until I get down that last 10 pounds I want to lose or whatever. Because look, and I even got on one of those body scan deals. Mm-hmm. It does show about half of that weight is fat, and it's not. I mean, you got to eat fat to get more fat, don't you?
Yeah, you would think. I'm not sure. Those scans sometimes aren't the most accurate.
Well, I got to agree with you. So we'll stay on top of it. But what I can do now, and the great news for me, is I can go to Livia and sit there and talk to him and say, look, I thought I could just lift weights and it would all, because there's some effort there. You're burning more calories. But lifting weights is different when you're trying to lose weight and you're lifting weight. It's a bitch. There's no question. So I will talk to them tomorrow about that and figure out a way to get down to 214. That'll be good. Visit Livia.com. That's Livea.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Join Livia's nutrition plan today and get your first 8 weeks free. Plus, Livia Medical offers GLP-1 medications for accelerated results. Visit Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Choose the trusted leader serving our communities for 15 years, because Livia works.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Let us take a second to talk about my bank. That'd be North American Banking Company. If you own a business or are thinking about starting one, make sure to check out my friends at North American Banking Company, Mr. Bilski, and all the rest. When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or maybe solve a problem, turn to their experts because they are locally owned and operated. Loan decisions are made here in the Twin Cities, not shipped out of state. This helps business owners expand with confidence. So, if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
I have to do my sports voice now. After a week off, St. Thomas football returns to 1500 KSTP. That's actually 1500 ESPN. But I'm calling it, I used to have to say 15 KSTP. This jock there in 1973. You know what I mean?
I love it.
After a week off, St. Thomas football returns to 1500 ESPN and 1500ESPN.com. Next up, a battle with Stetson University from O'Shaughnessy Stadium in St. Paul. Pre-game at 12:30, kickoff at 1 o'clock. Hear all the exciting Tommy's football action all season long on 1500 ESPN and at 1500ESPN.com. Well, you were on there until what, a few years ago? When was that?
Yeah, pandemic. We to 2020. Yeah, I was on there from 2011 to 2020.
Oh, so that's when you moved to podcasting full time? Is after 20?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. During the pandemic, they made some changes, and so we consolidated things, and it's been a great change. It's amazing when you think about, and you know this far more than I, but isn't it amazing when you think about the arc and the history of AM? Just as far as the music goes, and then into talk, and now it's not the same, obviously. But I remember when I was a kid, it was still, now 1500 had gone to talk by then, Tom, but 63 KDWB was still around, spinning the wax. So yeah, it's incredible. What a history.
Yeah, no question about it. One of the greatest radio markets in the country. People don't realize Minneapolis, St. Paul is one of the greatest radio markets in the country, and now building on podcasting as well. But I mean, you go all the way back before Boone and Erickson at WCCO and before Steve Cannon started at 1500 KSTP. I don't think people know that.
No.
I don't think they do know that. But I mean, a lot of legendary people on the air in this market, no question about it. And just listening to them certainly helped anyone who wanted to get into business do a better job of jumping in. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that was some top-notch pros. I mean, I've seen stories that in the 50s, I believe it was, the pilots would say that you could tell when the CCO nighttime, like 10 o'clock report had ended, because you could actually see the lights shutting off from the sky.
That's true. You can see the
incredible.
lights just going off. Everybody going to bed after the 10 o'clock news.
It's incredible. On the radio.
On the radio, yes.
Think about that.
No question about it. My favorite radio, I tried to find it because I wanted to bring it in, but I have no idea what I did with it. It's got to be out there somewhere. But many years ago when I was at 1500 KSTP, Chuck Knapp calls me and goes, hey, come into my office. There's somebody here I want you to meet. Because I started. Jim Chanel, who, by the way, I just found out died last year. Jim Chanel was the program director that took 1500 KSTP from 13th to 2nd place in 90 days.
Wow.
Did you know that happened?
No.
That was Jim Chanel. Yep. And Jack Nugent, of course, was the general manager. But so Chuck Knapp, Knapp and Bush, Knapp and Donuts, whole deal. He calls me to his office because somebody I want you to meet. So I walk in and there's Wolfman Jack sitting in his office, right? And so he goes, Cadman, I got to tell you something. I laid down some audio for you, but don't listen to it before you go on the air. I don't want any pre-listen. I want you to listen to it. And on the air live. Don't pre-listen to it. I said, okay. And the Wolfman's not going to be a problem. No question about it. I will not listen to it.
Yeah.
So he's still in town. He calls in. He goes, when you going to play that thing? I said, I will play it in 5 minutes. He goes, okay, we want to listen. So I go to break. I hit the drop. And here's what I hear. I had not heard this before. Here's what I hear Wolfman Jack saying. Hey, Cadman, it's Wolfman Jack. You're stealing my act. but that's all right.
Wow.
I got to find that audio's out there somewhere. I don't know, man. But Wolfman Jack telling me I was stealing in his act, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God. So why was he in town?
Probably a
Do you
drug
remember?
deal, I would
Okay.
guess. He starts laughing. Wolfman did not live a pristine life. I will tell you that.
I did not know that. I am not surprised to hear that. But a legendary. I mean, what a name.
God. To meet
in the
Wolfman
business.
Jack was another one of those situations. I mean, that's the one thing about being in this business. All the people that you get to meet that you never thought for 1 second you'd ever meet somebody like that.
Mhm.
And Wolfman was one of those. You know, I've talked about the Jane Fondas of the world and Peter Falk and I mean, I never thought I'd meet these people in person, and they've, given me a hug goodbye. It's a very cool life, man. So far, so good.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But Wolfman Jack is like a Ruthian character of the DJ.
He is.
business.
There's no. I want you to do me a favor on Friday.
Yeah.
I want you to call in during this break on Friday, and I'll put you on it and go, Phil, you're stealing my act, but that's all right. What do you think? Will he go
I
for
love
it?
it. I love it. I love it. That's
What's happening in your arena, Pally?
Well, fortunately, as we discussed yesterday, the Twins season is done, so they can't screw up too bad. At least they can't lose games. Look, it's Vikings, man. It's Vikings all the time now. 4-0.
Yep.
Could be 5-0 going into their bye week. Play the Jets on Sunday in London.
And they're
That is
terrible,
reason to be. Look, we can't, as sports fans in this town, we can't afford to dismiss the good. It doesn't happen enough.
right.
So
No, I think that's a very good point. What time is that game on Sunday?
8:30 in the morning our time.
It is 8:30.
So
Yes.
stupid because it's 2:30. It's 2:30 London time.
So go
You
5
could
o'clock.
just push the game back 4
Sounds like-
hours.
that
It's a
gets into my
prime
drink.
time game for the London people, and we get a noon game.
They're
Right.
disrupting your drinking time on Saturday night is what they're doing.
That's exactly right.
Just selfish sons of a you-know-what.
So it's Sunday morning at 8:30
Yes. Yes.
Central Time.
Central time, yes.
8:30 in the well, I'm up by then anyway, so it's not like I have to get
So
up.
am I. That's the thing is, now
Yeah.
I'm up by then.
Yeah.
I used to be up by then, but now I am.
Oh God, how 37 years of getting up at 3:15 in the morning was a thrill. I'll tell you that. Jesus.
Oh my God.
I look back and go, how the hell did I ever do that? Get up at 3:15 in the morning for 37 years.
I
Gee.
couldn't do that for 3 years.
Oh, it's a bitch. It's very, very difficult. There's no question
Well,
about
and what's your sleep schedule then? Like on Friday night, can you all of a sudden just zonk out until I was gonna say your body is all, especially 30 plus years.
Yep. To this day, I still get tired at around 8 o'clock at night because I used to have to go to bed at 8 o'clock at night because I got up
Yeah.
at 3:30 in the morning, 3:15 in the morning.
Yeah. I can't imagine that.
That's all I ever did is take one for the team. You know how I am.
I would have slept through the alarm clock more than a handful of times.
You know what's weird though? I have never used an alarm clock in my life. I don't know why, but I do not have to use an alarm clock. I wake up. Isn't that weird?
So when you when you started the gig, okay,
Yeah.
would you, like, I get it after a few years,
Yeah,
your body's
yeah.
conditioned, but like when you started, did you not have to use an alarm clock?
No, because I woke up like every hour on the hour to make sure I'd wake up. I didn't want to wake up.
Oh
I
my
just
God.
did. Yeah, it was
Oh,
terrible.
you must have had no good sleep at all.
Well, on the weekends when I hit the sauce, it was pretty good.
Okay, I'm buying that. Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Hey, honey, I'm going to get some sleep today. What do you think?
Yeah. Give me another one of those beers.
Let's go. 3 at a time. It's wonderful. That's all true. I'll never forget my buddies. They'd come over and they, you want a beer? No, I want 3. So they'd bring 3 beers in. Well, they're only 12 ounces, little.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
One beer.
One beer.
Plus, if you're gonna drink beer, I've never gotten that one. Hey, I just want one beer.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Never understood that one. If you just want one beer, have a soda pop.
Something like that, no question about it. But you know what the hell? So we got, as you pointed out already, we've got our Vikings. They're probably going to win on Sunday. The Jets are terrible.
The Jets are a mess. Yes.
Yeah, they're a total mess. So we should be 5. Who knows? You never know.
No, don't assume anything.
Nope.
Not in this town. You know that. Every time we get excited, it feels like we get shot down. So I'm with you. Don't assume a thing. But yes, the Vikings. In fact, it's the first game they're favored in since the opener against the horrendous New York Giants, because they were home underdogs to the 49ers, the Texans, and then I think they were 2.5-point underdogs to the Packers on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So
especially at the Packers Stadium, Jesus, to go over there and win, that was very impressive.
It was. No, they've been really impressive so far. Like they have. The only problem really through the first 4 games has been the second half on Sunday when they gave up the 29 points and it went and scored 3, and it went from 28 rip to 31-29. But yes, no, they've been very impressive.
You know what's so funny about that? It shows you how life brings calming moments and then basically throws water in your face. We took the kids out on a boat. We rented a boat and took the kids out on Lake Minnetonka just for a little spin, going into fall and all the rest of it.
Sure.
So we're out there. We're just hanging around, having a wonderful time, all the rest of it. We look out and Catherine goes, "Oh, my God, look at that." We looked out. She counted there were 25 loons just floating on the water. And it's this beautiful scene, magnificent day, all the rest of it. And I'm like, oh, God, this is so relaxing, so wonderful. I should check the Vikings score. They were up 28-0 last I saw. There went the calm right out
the loons all like dispersed.
They all took
the skies opened up and started pouring rain.
Would it be great if a loon just
biblical?
Oh God, he wants to listen to the Viking game. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. What the hell is this guy? We were enjoying our day on the lake.
Yeah. Yep, it's true. But they held on and won it. But I was shocked that they gave up a 28-point lead. Well, I didn't give up the lead. I shouldn't say it that way. They never did give up the lead, but it got close.
Yeah, I think they were shocked too.
Yeah, let's not do that again, shall we?
Well, and that's the type of game where, like, if that's a playoff game, that's not going to go well.
No, I would
get off to that big lead, and then a team comes storming back. So, yeah, this is you don't need to go up by 28. Let's just say 14.
Mm-hmm.
But then don't unravel in the last 2 quarters. How about that for a truce with the Vikings?
No, I think don't unravel some great advice. If they want to take some advice, don't unravel is a good place to start.
Oh, I do have one Twins thing.
Here we go.
The reports are we have found our scapegoat. It's not the GM. It's not the president of baseball ops. It's not the manager. No. Hitting coach David Popkins and one of his assistants won't be back.
The hitting coach?
You knew. I mean, that guy did such a bad job with the pitching staff. I mean, why Popkins didn't go out and get help at the deadline? I'll never understand. Yes, we have decided to scapegoat. We started with the scapegoats. We're starting with the hitting coach and one of his 2 assistants have been told they won't be back.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, he should have did a better job negotiating with Bally's if he wanted to keep his job.
Exactly right. Well, and he allowed it to come off Comcast. But you know what? So I'm not defending him. I said that this guy last year and then after they got off to the slow start should have been fired then.
Right.
Now, though, it's just so now it just reeks of they're picking and choosing.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Could have fired him 5.5 months ago and he deserved it. And I said, just fire him now. But no. The Twins have to do things their way. And now that it's convenient, he's being let go.
When are we going to have people in the Twins start pointing fingers at players they signed, like what we have with the Arizona Diamondbacks? Did you guys see this?
Oh, God, yes.
Yes.
Ken Kendrick, the owner, pretty much was like, yeah, Jordan Montgomery, I know I pushed for that deal. Terrible waste of money. He was awful. Shouldn't have spent that much on a guy. And the thing is that they're hoping and praying now that he doesn't pick up his player option to stay with the team for like $24 million.
Right. Oh.
But just
and he probably will because he's not going to get that much now because he had a terrible year.
Just to have the owner be like, I know I wanted him, but that guy stunk.
That's what we need from Joe.
It's a weird thing to say.
Joe Pohlad needs to come out and say, Rocco Baldelli had a terrible year. I'm not going to fire him, but he was awful.
Right. Well, the Twins didn't even let the stench of the season wear off, and they've already sent out to the season ticket holders, like, hey, renew your season tickets.
They didn't.
Yeah. And it was you can get a chance to win. I believe it's Carl Farmer. Is he
Kyle Farmer?
Yeah. You get a chance to win a signed baseball by him if you renew your season tickets right now.
That's worth about 5 cents.
That is.
It desecrates the baseball.
I would rather have a blank, brand new baseball.
Hold on a second. Where did this surface?
I heard them talking about it on the radio station on the way in, and they were like, "Yeah, people were emailing in like, I already canceled my season tickets for next year." Like, and then insult to injury is the Kyle Farmer baseball. Like, you could have made it like Carlos Correa or a big name person like Buxton.
No, who does the Twins game on the radio now? Is it still CCO?
Yes.
Yep.
They still do it on the radio. Yeah, there you go. So basically, I'm making a guess on what they were talking. Yeah, I don't. Would you just support the team? You're billionaires, for Christ's sake. You're not going to be able to take the money with you. Spend a little. Let's go.
Well, clearly they think they are.
They do. All right, Pally. Another brilliant report.
Thank you very much.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Talk to you guys. Bye.
Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Who's better than him?
Oh, it's a very short list, if anybody.
Maybe Phil, but then
you think Phil shoulder to shoulder?
In terms of sports guys that do the second segment of the show on a weekly basis, he's in the top 2.
Yep.
There you go. Top 2.
Top 2.
Nothing wrong with that. He made the top 2 because there's so many people underneath.
Yes, absolutely.
We shall take a break. Be right back, of course, right after this. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold's an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy. He knows how to plan for your retirement. Do not put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, LLC security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
This is Brett Paul from Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley. We have always had a professional sales staff on our show floors, but recently have added a few more to the arsenal. Neil Hadding was a salesperson at Valley for over 2 decades, probably the best truck guy around. He left for a manager position elsewhere, but decided to kick back and return to work with thousands of his old friends and customers. It's a similar story with Tim Condon. He spent many years in the sales and finance at Valley before spending time in Alaska, to the relief of many, many friends and customers who returned a few years back. Not a returnee, but a welcome addition to our seasoned staff is Charlie Fink. Charlie followed Neil to Apple Valley to head up the finance department. He is well known to many Twin City car customers after being in the business for over 3 decades. If you're looking for a familiar face or just a face of experience, visit one of these professionals at Jim Paul's Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings, or at valleycardealers.com.
I got to add one more thing before I move on to the next deal. Jim Paul. It just popped in my head because we used to go on, like golf trips and stuff, go up north, play some golf courses, all the rest of it. So we go up there, I don't know, same spot, second year in a row. We tee off on the golf course, and I hook my tee shot into the pretty deep rough on the left side. Mm-hmm. And I go, oh, my God, I never hit shots like that. And Jim Paul goes, what? I said, I never hit shots like that. And he goes, what are you talking about? That's exactly where you hit it last year when you teed off. I said, no, I did not. He goes, yeah, you did. I go over there. The balls are sitting this far apart. They're literally 6 inches apart. The ball from last year, which I never found, and then the ball from this year. And Jim Paul thought that was wonderful. Way to stab me in the back, Jim. That's all I have to say. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. When Mike Lindell started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, Since then, they now have hundreds of products, some you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towels, just $25. 6-pack towels, that's just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. Looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, now we get to get to... Who's that? There were people talking. Oh, it's just an echo of us?
Yeah, Chris, I think you have an echo or something on your end.
Way to go, Chris.
I don't have an echo. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
There we go.
I wasn't even talking, so I don't know.
No, I was talking.
Blame this on me.
You're a disaster. He doesn't even react to that anymore. After all these years of working together.
I'm just trying to make sure everybody can hear everybody. Okay.
There we go. I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yep, we are. No question. Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. So what's the latest?
Well, I saw you commented on the debate last night.
Yep, I thought it was, I really enjoyed the fact that they didn't just slaughter each other the way that Trump and Kamala Harris did. I don't want to watch that. You can disagree, but this viciousness has got to stop. My God, it's not a very good image for the young people of America.
Well, and I think that was very much by design too, right? Like if you're the person telling those guys what kind of image they'd like that projected and what they want the end result to look like, that's I mean, they couldn't have done that anymore, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm not their political strategists, but that to me seemed the way to handle that. They don't, they both need to be there, try to drive home the points of their, the top of the ticket. And, I think either one of them could have got into the mud or could have got into the weeds on things. But they didn't. So.
No, I thought it was a pretty interesting little talk they had. Debate, I guess it was a debate, but I thought they both handled it well. I think that people didn't see that side of Vance before, and I hadn't seen that side of Walz before. He looked a little nervous at the beginning, but he kind of settled in. I had no problem with the debate last night, none.
I honestly was very frustrated because I sort of went down the rabbit hole on the whole Iran-Israel thing yesterday.
Yeah,
with everything that was going on over there. And I was frustrated that the networks were even cutting away from what was happening in Israel to even go to the debate, because the debate was still like an hour and a half away. And so I was the guy yelling at the TV. I'm like, why are you cutting away to an hour and a half of preview roundtable discussion over a debate that hasn't even happened yet when you have all this crap happening right now in Israel? Like that was me. I was as a journalist / just world citizen, I was more interested in what was happening over there, because I think that whole situation over there continues to be holding on by a thin thread. But
I think they should send me over there, because 25 years ago I said it and I'll say it again. If human beings do not learn to assimilate to one another, it's going to be a disaster for the rest of time. People need to move toward together, and I'll say it again, assimilate or hit the goddamn road. There, I said it 25 years ago, and I'll say it again. We need to move toward one another, not away from one another, you stupid bastards.
That tension in that part of the world goes way, 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 way back.
It kind of does.
Like thousands and thousands of years back. So I don't know that you're ever going to. I just have always been under the assumption that like the whole World War III notion wouldn't happen in this modern era, because we're too tied together as an entire globe because of commerce and technology. but I don't know. It's pretty scary right now.
They don't want us to get along. We're easier to control if we don't get along. That's the whole problem.
Yeah,
seriously, it's learning about. Well, let me run this by you very quickly. I've talked about it, whether it was my friend, the Italian friends that I had, black friends that I had, Jewish friends that I had. When I went to their house, the first thing I did, because my mother told me, said, when you go there, they might, live their home lives differently than we do. So you got to follow their rules. So I did. That's assimilation. It's a good thing. I'm in your house. You make the rules. Why is that a bad thing? I still don't understand that.
Well, it's just having respect for the people whose home you're in.
Exactly.
Like,
respect's not very important right now, is it? But
it's what else was I gonna? Oh, I saw a funny little thing. Not funny, but it's actually horrible, but laughable in a way. On Facebook before I came in today, one of the DNR posted this bit about some husband and wife were loading their boat in or out of Lake Minnetonka in the last couple days.
Right.
And they lost the boat, or they lost the car. Like they left it in neutral and it split into the lake, which sucks, dude. And every time when I used to have a boat, trailering that thing is like, launching is like the most stressful thing in the world for that very reason. Well, anyway, the DNR officer was there as they got the car up out of the water and the trailer and everything, and there was a Sunny in there in their front seat, like floating in like down by the gas pedal or something. And the conservation officer grabbed the Sunny and took it out, and he asked the guy whose car it was if he had his fishing license, because he didn't want to cite him for which I thought was, I don't know, good. Way to ease the tension a little bit when your car just got submerged in a lake. It's funny.
Yeah,
it's on my Facebook. It's better on the Facebook page. I'm not really doing it justice, but there's a shot of the DNR officer like holding a little Sunny. It's pretty funny.
I got to ask you something that just popped up on my screen, and I don't understand this. Minneapolis Park Board okays Minnehaha off-leash dog park fencing plan to restrict access. So unless you're walking a dog, you can't get on the beach. What is that?
Actually, I think that was our story from yesterday, and I kind of think that's flipped. It's the dog owners who love that beach, and they've taken their pets down there, and so it's like a beloved beach because it's off leash, and now they're trying to fence it up and if you spin it the way the park board wants you to spin it, they're creating a better area for the dogs to be and safe. But the people who actually are taking their dogs down there are pissed because they think they're restricting more of the space that they have.
I'm all for the fence on that dog park, because when I take my dog down there, the second he's off that leash, gone. And I'm running through woods and water. So I'm all for
those off-leash. Those off-leash parks, if they're not held in at some point, my dogs will go too, and then I'll be spending the next 4 hours looking for them. But.
Yep.
Actually, all you got to do is, if we take Judd out, I don't worry about a leash, not a leash. As long as you got some chow on you, he ain't going anywhere.
You're just sticking right there. He knows.
Exactly.
He knows what's up.
All right, Pally, a brilliant report this morning, I thought.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, sir. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Dougie Sprinthal with us. What's happening?
Just had a beautiful drive in from Red Wing.
Really?
It's beautiful this morning.
Well, it's a
until you get to the crosstown, and then everything goes to shit.
Wow, that's true, too. And it is a little chilly out.
But it's going to be 84 later.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
84?
Yeah.
Is he making this up?
No.
It is, Doug.
Yeah, here, let's lie about the weather. That's exciting.
Let me fact check you live on air.
Yeah, here we go. Fact check. I thought it was going to up to 78 or something.
I saw upper 70s, but who knows? Maybe
Doug.
Well, Red Wings, we're southern.
That's true. You're way deep south. Yeah, I forgot about that. I love Red Wing. I got to get down there again.
Well, come on by.
It is a great, great spot. Love the hotel down there. The St. James is beautiful. And
We're full time now. We hauled the boats out of Kings Cove yesterday. It was a sad day after.
You're not at Kings Cove anymore.
No, we're gonna
north
move down to Red Wing and just try that part of the river, Lake Pepin and all that sort of stuff.
But you got a lot of friends at that Kings Cove.
Yes, we do.
So what are you going to do about that?
Well, they'll probably come down.
Well, that's true.
Or we'll just sneak up there.
Sneaking up there.
They're all
well.
like, "We're so sad you're going." I'm like, "We're going to the next county. We're not going to war in Afghanistan. You can just swing by if you want."
You know, Barn Bluff up there at the top, when you get up there and look at the entire city of Red Wing, that whole city is wonderful.
It really is cool.
Is a really great
love
thing.
it. So
no question about it.
art festival, I think, down there next weekend. I'll
We
check
got an art
on
festival?
that. And it's supposed to be cool. And I'm not an art festival kind of person, but maybe you guys want to drive down on
Art
Sunday and
festival?
look at art.
Art who? Thank you very much. Great to be here. Art Sears. He's
Yeah.
going to book guests for us. There's no question about it. Matter of fact, we do have to take a break because we do have a guest coming up next. The film God Bless Bitcoin, the film released on July 25th, free via the website at godblessbitcoin.com. John is an executive producer. Yeah, baby. He's in the documentary as well. So, John, a semi-talented guy, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, he only had like a 15-year NBA career and now makes movies. So he's done a few things.
He's got this sly look on his. I got to show this. But look at this picture of him. You see him over there?
Yeah, rubbing his chin.
Yeah. Let me think it through here.
Get my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
John Salley will join us right after this. I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You're damn right it is. We good to go?
Sure are.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this because it's not going to be easy. I mean, we got two legends with us. We got John Salley, God Bless Bitcoin, and then Doug Sprinthal, who's a legendary. What are you legendary for?
I'm going to leave because I'm so stupid. I don't even understand Bitcoin. I've had people try to explain it to me for 10 years, and they scream, "It's blockchain technology," and my screen goes blank.
Well, John Salley, you're here, and you can help this man out. God Bless Bitcoin.
Nobody can help me.
Nobody?
I'm just sure.
That's a timely question. How do we fix our broken monetary system? Through in-depth conversation with financial, Bitcoin, and religious experts, including Mark Cuban, Kath Wood, former NBA great. John, what do you mean? You're still an NBA great, and I don't care if you're playing or not. Once you're that good, you're always that good, right?
I so love you. You know, long-time listener, first-time caller.
John,
you want to learn. You want to learn. That's why you go to godblessbitcoin.com. If you haven't learned in 10 years, that's a we should talk about that later, and maybe talk to one of your teachers on you being a slow learner. But it is the easiest way.
John, you haven't changed at all since the last time I talked to you.
No, I have not. But let me tell you, GodBlessBitcoin.com, everybody. I know I keep saying it, but it's, when they used to have it on the dollar, God bless America, God bless the USA.
Yep.
It's telling you to pay attention. So this gives you from the beginning to end on how it started, where it's going, and why it's so important for us as people here in America to get on early, get on the train early, be early, get your seat, and be secure. Take care of your future, your family's future. Like I just heard in your commercial, past success does not mean a successful future, but the difference is when you put your money into Bitcoin, it's not going to be depreciated. It's not going to be $1,000 one day and $500 the next. It's going to be what you paid for. It can go up, but once you get in, that's where you're in at. And it's the best thing for your money is to get it into this new way, because the old way is going out of business. I spoke about back when I was trying to get into Venezuela, there was blocks and blocks of money, just paper money all over the street. And people were like, oh man, it's not worth anything. It was never worth anything. It was always paper. The same paper they use for $1 is the same paper they use for $100. Just got a different zero on it.
Yeah.
This is different. So I try to get it into the community. My great director, the duo, Brian and Kelly, husband and wife duo, decided, hey, we can go and seek great distribution, because it is a great documentary. It looks good. I'm very proud of it, to have my name associated with it and my likeness. And they decided, hey, let's give it away. This is free information. We shouldn't hoard it. We shouldn't treat it like the tippity top who are, the 1% who are playing us. This can help everybody. This can keep us secure. And it is morally a great way of dealing with money. The Bible speaks of money and finance so many different places, in Genesis and Deuteronomy. And it's funny that I'm even mentioning the Bible when talking about it, because so many people base things outside of themselves on God. So that's why it was important to show that this is a blessing to save us. This is a great way of taking care of your money, making it a saving account. I also spoke of, at one time we had a horse and buggy. That was the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Man, look how good my buggy looks. And I got a pretty horse. Well, then automobiles came in, and there was people didn't want to jump on the automobile thing at first, But now you see a horse and buggy, and you wonder, what are they doing there? So the future is coming, and the future is blockchain technology.
Yeah, you have to read something here. This is wonderful. The film also shows how and why members of the poor and middle class feel a financial squeeze, even when they work hard and lead fiscally responsible lives. God Bless Bitcoin ultimately suggests the ways in which Bitcoin can present alternatives to our current system that are they're more just, equitable, and peaceful. And one thing I have to say, John, and I'm glad you're on talking about this, because a lot of people got a very, very bad taste in their mouth about that. What was that creepy kid's name? That curly-headed kid that he ended up going to prison, Mr. Bitcoin himself.
We don't know if he's in prison, though. Go ahead.
No, I just put him in prison today. I was going to pass that along to you, but I forgot to pass that along to you before. No, I don't know if he's going to be in prison. I don't think he's doing very well. But a lot of scammy, no matter what it is, John, they're going to be scammy people coming in. So it's good to know a guy like you will stand up and say, no, this is the way it is. It's really going to be a good thing. People and money, boy. I mean, John, how do you deal with, once you get money near people, they completely go crazy?
And I didn't understand, but I understand now. I understand that because if you watch everything we've ever dealt with, from the cartoons to listening to people, to seeing movies, because movies have definitely shaped my life. I tell people all the time, they kept saying, how'd you know you were going to be an actor? And it's a funny thing. I said, I used to watch The Little Rascals. And they were like, what? And I said, Stymie and Buckwheat were not the second-rate person.
Nope.
They were part of The Little Rascals.
Yep.
And that was in the 30s when they made that. Then somebody with power who was a racist took that away. But it was the mentality of, hey, everybody can do well. Everybody can prosper in this country. Everybody can pull themselves up from the bootstraps. But it wasn't true. It was only for white folk. So this is a difference in this 21st century, right here in 2024. Black, white, purple, green, gay, straight, transgender, anything can invest in Bitcoin. Can literally get on the blockchain, get yourself a wallet, and purchase shares of a fraction of a Bitcoin. And if you buy it for $1,000 a day in 10 years, it might be worth more, but it won't be less. And you cannot say that about the American dollar. So I implore upon as many people as possible. If you don't understand it, doesn't mean you shun it away. If you don't understand it, find a way to understand it. The best way to understand it is go watch GodBlessBitcoin.com, and for free, the difference a lot of times, you get what you pay for, right? So if you're getting free information, you're getting free information sometimes is not worth it. This is the one time the free information will help you in your future. I tell a lot of young cats, as opposed to go buying watches that cost $130,000, which is a cool investment. It's going to increase in investment, but guess what happens when everybody goes to trade their watch in? It's going to drop. So it's not going to drop in Bitcoin. If you got $100,000 in Bitcoin, $1,000 in Bitcoin, in 5 years, you'll either have more or you'll have exactly what you put away. It is literally, I'm saying that. The technology removes all of the hand dippers, all of the people who double talk and speak in languages we don't understand, in financial languages we don't understand. Understand this. If I have $1 and I put it into the blockchain in Bitcoin, in 5 years, it's either going to be $5 or $1. Either way, I'm okay with.
Yeah, there you go. Now, I know you got to get going here, but Tevin, you at least have to say hello.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of John Salley, whether it's, watching the highlights of his basketball career or him as in Ride or Die, or any of the other Bad Boys movies where he's antagonizing Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. So I'm a big fan of John Salley.
I knew you.
I appreciate you. And like I said, I'm a long time listener, first time caller. Okay. I appreciate y'all.
Okay, well, you got to come in the studio next time, John.
Oh, I would love to, man. I'd like taking over studios. Stealing all the
It's going to take over. Okay, well, that's good. Great talking to you again, sir. And I haven't seen you in a while. It's been a few years, but a hell of a good guest. And thank you for your time this morning, sir.
You got it. Stay alive, brother.
You too. John Salley, ladies and gentlemen. God Bless Bitcoin, the film released on July 25th, free via the website. GodBlessBitcoin.com. What a player John Salley was. And you know what? He used to come in once in a while back in the day. Nicest guy you'd ever want to meet.
Yeah, he insulted me. He's going to get a letter from the Slow Learners of America. Would you do me a favor? I know Josh Arnold comes in here, once or twice a week. Next time he's here, ask him to explain Bitcoin.
You know what? That's a good. Well, he'll be in on Friday
because I know he likes to lecture. He's really good at that, and I might learn something. So,
God, you know what hell I had the other day, last Thursday on the family show. Sitting in that chair to your left is Mike Gelfand, like he is every Thursday. Yeah. But then the overflow of leftyism. Mike Bryant sits where you're sitting. So I opened the interview by saying, both of them shockingly sitting to my left.
You remember the guy when we were doing those Tour de Cure bike rides?
Oh, sure, yeah.
So this is a great story. Then we would raise money for diabetes research. And this a KQ listener, the guy who's an attorney, rode with us the first year. And, the guy worked out. He's middle-aged, but he looked like he was in pretty good shape. He was so slow. And I was riding with Doc, and he goes, "Doug, we're going so slow. We just got passed by a couple of lesbians with tattoos." I'm like, "All right, calm down."
That's real nice.
So anyway, we maintained contact and stuff. And he emailed me about 3 months later, and he goes, I got to tell you, I was not feeling good the day of the ride, and I continued to feel poorly. I couldn't work out anymore. And I went to the doctor, and he needed a kidney. I'm like, oh shit! No wonder he was so slow. You don't remember this story? Oh, so he's conservative. He's a Republican, and his brother is gay and completely liberal. And his brother donated, I think his name was George, if I remember right, George a kidney. And so, and only guys would do this. George says, "Okay, do I get to pick which one? Because I'd like to pick your right kidney because you've never been right your whole life." And he and his son rode with us the next year. It's George Wood, I think his name was.
Oh, George. I do remember him. Absolutely. Very nice guy.
But that first year, it's like, dude, we're going like 4 miles an hour. This is going to be a 6-hour ride.
I do remember.
And Tom's like, "I'm not going to ditch a listener. You guys go ahead." And I said, "No, we're not going to. We're a team. We're riding together.
We're good to go." We will take a break. We're coming right back. Who will join us? Some Australian punk. That's who. Brad Blanks right after this. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank all our listeners for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products some of you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towel sets, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. You're looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
This is Brett Paul from Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley. We have always had a professional sales staff on our show floors, but recently have added a few more to the arsenal. Neil Hadding was a salesperson at Valley for over 2 decades, probably the best truck guy around. He left for a management position elsewhere, but decided to kick back and return to work with thousands of his old friends and customers. It's a similar story with Tim Condon. He spent many years in the sales and finance at Valley before spending time in Alaska, to the relief of many, many friends and customers who returned a few years back. Not a returnee, but a welcome addition to our seasoned staff, is Charlie Fink. Charlie followed Neil to Apple Valley to head up the finance department. He is well known to many Twin City car customers after being in the business for over 3 decades. If you're looking for a familiar face or just the face of experience, visit one of these professionals at Jim Paul's Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings, or at valleycardealers.com.
I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said, so why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back. Bobbing is, what are you doing wearing a baseball cap?
Yeah, supporting the Mets.
Oh, you got the Mets?
Yeah. It's Met fever in New York City.
Met fever, baby. That's all we have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and talented Brad Blanks joining us. Where the hell have you been?
Mate, I had a big summer. I was off in Europe running around. We went and saw some soccer. But back when the school year starts, I'm still a dad, still married, don't worry.
That's good.
Yeah. No, should always throw that in as I'm in the throes of middle ages. I got mates just dropping like flies entering that divorce world. So I always got to throw that out there that happily married. It's good. I turned 50, Tom. I became a 50-year-old. Yeah. Big moment.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I still feel like a little boy.
6'6" little boy.
That's right. I don't know what that means, turning 50, but geez, it's a heck of a moment in life. This turning 50 thing, but ready to go. I think I've still got a bit of time in me. Still got something to offer. But feeling good, mate. Excited about your Vikings. Wow.
Yeah, 4-0. Looks like they might even be 5-0 because the Jets are horrendous. But who knows? You never know. Never know.
Curb your enthusiasm.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you can win this, then you got to buy, and then you got Detroit's the big one, I guess, in a couple of weeks' time. That'll be a good game. But yeah, the schedule, it's funny when you're in form, the schedule looks really good, doesn't it? When you've got a good team. It's when you got a bad team, you see a matchup with the Jags and you're like, oh geez, can we beat the Jags or not? But your schedule looks really good. If you by the end of October, you could be in a really good spot. So
Brad, before we move on, I got to tell you, at least once a week, most weeks more than that, I have someone texting me about how much they love that Tiki Hut video of you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Is it? It's been a long time. We put that up, but it's only about a minute long, right?
Well, I'm not able to actually get the video up. I could try to get that for the next time around.
Why can't you get the video up, you pill?
Technology is in the way.
Yeah. Oh, so Brad, you got nothing cooking on your end either with your New York Mets hat.
No. I got interviews for you today. I've got good stuff. So
okay,
the show I'm into, and I really like it, Tom. And I be curious. I know you're not into these superhero movies, right? So
not a big fan.
Which would mean you're probably not into the show The Penguin on HBO Max.
I do want to see The Penguin. That looks really good.
It's very good. It's
what I hear.
Yeah. It's like they've Trojan horsed us. They've like, all right, we're gonna call this a villain show, but you watch it. It's like a modern day Sopranos they got going on here. Very mob base. We're in, episode 2 aired the other night, and and you can get it on streaming on Max. And I'm 20 minutes into it, and there's a mafia war going on between two mafia families, and the Penguin's right in the middle of it all. It's very good, and it's got some interesting actors and actresses from our past, Tom, that we've talked about over the years. But the first guy, I went along to the red carpet and caught up with the cast, and the first guy I have here is a guy called Clancy Brown. Now, that name might mean something to some people. In the last few years, he's been doing children's, kids animation, which a lot of actors do. He's got a beautiful voice like yourself. Mm-hmm. But more so, 30 years ago, Clancy Brown was the captain in Shawshank Redemption. What a vicious character he was. Remember that, Tom?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So he did some bad stuff there to Tim Robbins' character in that movie. And in this, he plays Maroney, the leader of the Maroney family in The Penguin. And he was just walking down the red carpet, and the first thing I brought up to him was Pet Sematary 2. I don't know if he liked that too much. That was that was the movie he did before Shawshank. Right. So I'd say that I thought he might have thought he was on top of the world after Pet Sematary 2, and then all of a sudden he went out and got one of the most famous villain roles in the history of film. So anyway, here's Clancy Brown just walking down the red carpet when I headlocked him.
It's like I'm personal friends with you somehow. A lot of people say that to you. And my kids have probably grown up to your voice as well, right?
Well, if you say so, yeah.
You're a very prolific man. So in The Penguin, which mob boss do you play?
I play Sal Maroney.
You do go head-to-head with Colin Farrell in the first episode?
He comes in to talk to me in the jail and tell me what's going on, and I tell him what I think and have a little tete-a-tete there, yeah.
To me, as I watch it, you do strike a little bit of fear.
Yeah, the character hates us.
Can you take me back to 1992, Pet Sematary 2? You do that movie?
Yeah.
what do? You put your feet up and you go, oh, I've had a pretty good run so far. What's next? Is that how it goes for you?
Yeah, just wait for the call, see what's going on there.
And then you get the phone call for Shawshank Redemption.
It's in my pocket,
Can you remember that when you got the phone call?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In some ways changes your life?
I suppose. I mean, it's a good movie. Yeah. It's on a lot.
Do people still ring you up and go, yeah, I've seen you on TV?
I was very young when I made that. I was in my 30s. I barely recognized myself in that. I was a young, skinny guy.
You're proud of the role, though. Proud of the movie.
Yeah, the movie's 30 years ago. We just had the anniversary. Some of us went down to Mansfield where we shot it.
Into the old prison. How was that for you walking around there?
That is a creepy place, but they're refurbishing it. It was going to get torn down right after the movie, and some architects came in and saved it because I guess it is an attraction. They have a haunted house there, and people get married there, and they do rock concerts there, and it's something.
And do people still pull you up on the street and say you are the captain?
Yeah, usually people at least your age do that. Maybe not that many.
Well, you're a good man. You scared me as a young fella.
Yeah, I can't imagine you scary.
That was a scary movie, but fantastic movie, and well done in this. It's good to see you. Good Aussie accent too.
Yeah, I like it there.
I was going to bring that up. Every time an actor talks to you, they slide into the accent, whether they know they're doing it or not.
Yeah, he did. And he said a great line there. I think I stepped on it a bit, but he said pissing in my pocket, which means like false flattery or, making something up or along those lines. And as he said it, I went, I'm kind of pissing in his pocket a bit at the beginning of that interview. I'm fluffing him up, you know what I mean? So, but look, he's very humble. I don't think he realized, I'm sure he does, but the impact that movie has on people, Shawshank Redemption, the fact that.
Oh, God, yes.
And he was terrifying. Probably not as terrifying as those Nazi guys in the prison, what they were doing to poor old Tim Robbins' character. Geez, that scared the hell out of me as well. Until Tim Robbins told him you get lockjaw if you put a knife into someone's head. Remember that?
Oh, God, yes, absolutely.
Kevin, don't worry, mate. That's sick stuff. You don't need to be involved. All right. Scary movie for you young guys. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Geez. But anyway, so I forgot to say Colin Farrell is the Penguin. And the crazy thing is with Colin is he's got so much on his face you don't see him, but as you keep watching him, the acting of Colin Farrell does come through. But the next cab off the rank here I want to throw to is Cristin Milioti. Now, she's an actress. I wasn't a How I Met Your Mother fan, but for you guys will be able to help me here. She was in the last season. She actually was the mother. Is that right? Any fans of that show?
You're spot on.
Okay. Right. So she was the mother. She's a incredible head on her. This face of hers. She's going to be a great. I know she was a Broadway actress, and I know she was in a Adam Sandberg movie, Andy Sandberg movie a few years ago. I wish I could. It was a Hulu. It was out during COVID, and everyone sort of watched it when we were all locked up. But I love her as an actress. She plays her villain name is the Hangman. Comic book experts will probably help correct me on this in the Penguin, but she's the she's going head to head with the Penguin. So there's some really good scenes between Colin Farrell and Cristin. So here's Cristin catching up with her on the red carpet.
Cristin, your face is quite incredible in this. How you keep it very still to generate fear.
Yeah.
Did you know you're doing that?
I don't think I knew that exactly, but I love it. I'll take that.
And then there's moments where you make me feel sorry for the Penguin.
Yeah. Wow. I love that.
Is that what you're trying to do, the to and fro from your characters?
Weirdly, I think they're so kindred, which is what was so tragic about their relationship. There's a world in which they would have worked really well together, and there is like a weird care there because there's so much history. I think it's complicated.
Yeah. I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, I like her, but I'm worried. What's going to happen?
Yeah, sure.
Am I meant to be rooting for him?
I don't know. Right. That's what I like, is that I think your allegiance sort of shifts and you never know who to root for.
Now, your character's very famous in the world and very lethal, the Hangman.
Yeah.
And we'll see elements of that.
Yes. I mean, not to, but you'll see her get a little real.
What would the Hangman do to me?
Well, I don't know. What have you done? Depends on the crime.
He will just kill me.
Yeah. The how is depending on the crime. Yeah.
Right. Hangman.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a brilliant interviewer.
Trying to get her to murder me. Well, that's the thing. Comic book people will be angry with me because I didn't know that's what the Hangman does. So recreates the crimes and kills criminals. So but I like this woman. Yeah, she's got a great look about her, and she She should even have hopefully this launches her because she's a heck of an actress. And the scenes between Colin Farrell and her are awesome. But this brings me to Colin. Now, the great thing about Colin, Tom, is back in the day when I started with you, I would be giving you Colin Farrell interviews.
Yeah.
And to the extent, this is pretty crazy. Back in like 2002, I gave you an interview back then with a Playboy bunny, and I was at a Playboy party in New York City. Somehow I had a good relationship with Playboy. Yeah, I don't know how I weaseled my way into that
Weasel
thing. Yeah, weasel's probably the right word there. And I was out the back of this nightclub interviewing a Playboy bunny, and I made the Playboy bunny talk like how a bunny would talk. And obviously no one knows how bunnies talk. And I remember the next day I played that on WPLJ radio, with Scott Shannon, your friend, Hall of Fame, and it was the Scott and Todd show on 95.5. And we Scott would use carts. This is way before digital. You remember the old cart track of course, Tom?
Absolutely.
And we had that interview on there, and we played it live on air, me interviewing a Playboy bunny speaking like a bunny rabbit. And Scott pulled the cart out of the cart machine and threw it at my head.
That's a Scott thing to do.
Yeah, it said that is the worst interview I've ever heard. How could you even have that on my radio show? Anyway, I think I played it for you, and you thought it was hilarious. And I'm like,
thought it was hilarious.
I said, I'm glad Tom got the joke here of just the absurdity. Really, radio just doesn't work with a Playboy bunny, right? Because we want to see this chick. So I can't get her, we're still trying to be still got children listening. I can't get her to describe her body and what she was wearing.
Certainly.
But so I got her to talk like a bunny rabbit, completely PG, that interview. Anyway, that woman, the following night, I think, walked into a love affair. I thought I was going pretty good making her talk like a bunny. I thought I might have been half a chance. Anyway, the following day, from all the gossip reports, is she walked into a love affair with Colin Farrell for like a week. So
a week.
I think they had a pretty tumultuous New York City locked in a hotel room love affair, and that was the end of 2002. So there's my connection to Colin Farrell. I couldn't believe it that I could have been a chance myself, but Colin came in and cut my grass. But anyway, so I would be interviewing Colin through those years, and we always had a good time. But sadly for him, he had a rough trot, partying pretty hard. And I think it was Miami Vice. He did Miami Vice movie, and he went straight into rehab. He said this story before, straight into rehab. After that, that movie was closed. That movie didn't do that well. I'd like to go back and watch it, actually, because it's probably not a bad film when I rewatch it. And then he got out of that and did the film in 2008 in Bruges. I don't know if you've seen that.
I love that movie.
That was a great
fantastic,
movie.
Great movie. And since then, he's had this incredible acting career, like doing smaller movies, not big stuff. And in terms of The Penguin, this is probably his first biggish sort of, even though it's a streaming show, but biggish sort of big name. And it was he starred in the Batman movie playing this character. So it's good to see him try to do something else. But this guy's had an amazing career since 2008. I love the Banshees of Inisherin, even though we really couldn't understand what they were talking about in that movie. And it was just good to see two buddies that become not friends anymore. I enjoyed that movie. You've been to Ireland before, so you know how the Irish get along. Here's Colin Farrell walking down the red carpet when I headlocked him again to talk about the Penguin.
Colin, good to see you, mate. Good to see you again. Did those 17-year-old, 18-year-old acting classes prepare you to play this role?
No, man, nothing could. No, and I left all the preparation to Mike Marino and his brilliance in makeup design, special effects design. He did such an extraordinary job for the film.
You have to push out as an actor to push through that prosthetics?
No, it was surprisingly light and it moved. I would have a thought and it would move. I felt a great deal of harmony with it the first time it went on. Yeah. And you just give yourself over to it. Right. You're a child in a sandbox and you just give yourself over to the make-believe like never before. And you have a little bit of a cushion because you know that nobody's looking at you. Nobody's looking at you. They can't see you.
So you can hide behind.
You're not there. Well, there is a little bit of hiding. And then to the hiding, of course, what happens is hopefully absolute exposure. You can access these parts of the character and all that stuff.
Well, your old friend who found you and cast you, Joel Schumacher, what do you think he'd be thinking of you playing the Penguin?
I don't know. I hope he'd enjoy it. I think he'd enjoy it. Joe was always very supportive, of young talent. Not that I'm young anymore or talented, but Joe was always the reason why I'm here.
Did he see In Bruges?
Did he see In Bruges? I don't know, but he was alive when In Bruges came out. He's no longer.
He would have went,
of course. I hope he did. I don't know.
Do you still read Jilly Cooper books to put yourself to sleep?
Did I ever?
You told me that at Sundance in 2008 at In Bruges.
Somebody put me up to that.
Well done, mate. You look good.
Thanks,
and
man.
it's great to see you.
It's good to see you, brother. Thanks, man.
I loved it. See you, mate.
He couldn't get away from you soon
I know,
enough.
he got away at the end. He said, "I'm going to get away from this animal. This guy wants to hug me." Yeah, you talk about the Playboy bunny or something. But it was good. I had not seen this guy in 16 years, and I would have interviewed him about 7 times in the O's.
Yeah,
and it's great. These are the good moments of this silly job that I have. He's a good fella, a good guy. Always, but even when he was wild, he was always a champion fella and gave great interviews and always good chats. And the reason I brought up Joel Schumacher, he was the director of Phone Booth.
Right.
Remember that, Colin Farrell? And Tigerland, which was Colin Farrell's first ever Hollywood film. So Joel essentially founded him, which is crazy because Joel did those the 2 Batman movies, which were the most, I think, hated. I think the one with George Clooney and Poison Ivy, and anyway, back in 1995. But Colin Farrell, good fella, great show, The Penguin, Tom.
I will tell you, though, that every time you say that name, in my head, I hear,
whack, 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 whack. Yeah, I know. The good old days, eh? I love that. The original Penguin, I love it. Yeah.
Burgess
Meredith.
Meredith.
Yeah.
Lived to be 100 years old, didn't he?
Wow.
I think Burgess lived to be 100.
Wow.
You got to look that up, but I'm pretty sure he did. If he didn't, he was just short of it. But had him on the show a couple times, too. Another one of those guys, legendary actor, and all of a sudden you're talking to Burgess Meredith. It's like, no, he was wonderful. Great guy.
89 years old.
He's only 89 when he died?
Just a
I
kid.
was told he was 100 almost. Wow. Well, I suppose 89 is almost 100.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's close
That's
enough.
pretty close. 89's good. Yeah.
Then what are you going to? All right, Brad, don't disappear for months.
No. I'm going to get. When I get more audio, I'll be
never
sending
liked
it to
you.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. I love you.
Right, let me just say this. Whack, whack, whack.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. It's a good penguin. Yeah.
You're a good man, Brad.
All right,
Love
thanks,
having
Tom.
you on the show, pal.
Awesome, mate. Thank you. Yeah, hey, Doug, too. I saw Doug there. Well, thanks, AJ. Thanks, Devin.
Yeah, it's great to see you, Brad.
See you guys.
No
Bye-bye.
We'll take a break. Be right back. KB2, Cristin Burt up next. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, the lovely and talented Cristin Burt, KB2 Entertainment News, brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Boy, 3 legends in a row. We got Cristin Burt now. Just before that, had Brad Blanks. Just before that, we had John Salley. I mean, it's a lineup of superstars. Oh, no reaction from them. You guys stabbed her right in the back. That's really
we got Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here doing technical stuff.
What'd you do with Tevin?
No, he's helping me.
He's
I'm
helping.
password illiterate. I typed in the wrong thing 3 times, and
there's a shot.
Hubbard is. I mean, their security is like. I think we're in the Pentagon system somehow, right?
Essentially, yes.
Thank you, Tevin.
Have you got it covered now? Is it good?
We're good. I can see everybody,
Works for me. No
including
question about
AJ,
it.
who just took a shot at me and hurt my feeling.
Yeah, anytime. I got you.
Your one feeling that you have?
Are you still on Monster? Have you gone to episode 4 yet?
No. We're at episode 3.
All right.
And it's a really good show. But
You call me after 4.
God, is it?
Doug, you can't do this. We're going to be talking about Kitty Menendez getting shot in the face again.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, Doug, no.
I'm sorry.
Doug, no. Doug, no.
So let's do this. We won't talk about Monster until after Tom and Catherine watch 4.
Okay, we're not going to watch it. We're not going to talk about it at all.
Yeah.
It is a good show.
Yeah.
No, episode 4. He wants you to watch episode 4, and then you can talk
Okay,
about
I'll
it.
watch 3 and 4. That'll be good.
He gets all
done.
So he watched 1 after I told him about it, and he calls me at 9:00 at night. He goes, "Thanks for ruining my life."
It's true.
I was like, Doug, don't do it. Don't
I
do it. We're
know.
going to hear about faces being shot off.
Oh God! I mean, mother and father both. You a little pissed off at mom and dad, are you? Shooting them right in the face.
Oh.
Jesus, pal.
And then they go on a shopping spree like everyone does on
Yeah,
their
that's
with
right.
their
Of
parents.
So simple.
Absolutely. I was totally. This is not going to ruin anything for anybody because there's in episode 1, I believe, when all of a sudden they take the lid off of that. I don't know if he's the youngest son or the oldest son.
Oh,
It's like, holy God! He's got holes drilled in his head to hold the wig down, and I was like, what is that? I mean, can't they do hair transplants now? That'd be better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, now everyone goes to Turkey for their hair transplants.
Oh, is that what they do?
Yeah, if you take a flight to Turkey and when you're coming back to the US, it's going to be about 85% men with all of their heads wrapped.
No kidding.
So that's why what's his name? Eric
Menendez.
No,
Eric
no,
Menendez.
no. I'm talking about the mayor of New York, Eric.
because
he just got nailed for taking money from Turkey.
Oh, Eric Adams.
Eric Adams. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, medical tourism. This is not entertainment, but sort of entertainment related because obviously everyone in Hollywood does some procedure or another. But
Right.
medical tourism is becoming very big. And it's one of those situations where plastic surgery in the US has become very acceptable, but it's also very expensive, as we know. And so
Mhm.
people are going to Mexico, they're going to Turkey, they're going to South Korea, and they're getting facelifts and hair transplants, even doing their dental implants. It's really fascinating how quickly medical tourism is growing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Is he old Eric? Has he got some problems now because he was taking cash? But it was weird. He
got
was
some
taking-
problems. Yeah, I think he might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, just a little bit of trouble.
The best part is that it was Sabrina Carpenter, the singer, the pop
Mhm.
star, who basically took him down.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yes.
I didn't
I don't
know.
know if everyone knows this story. Sabrina Carpenter went and shot a video that was pretty suggestive, but it was done in a Catholic church. And the priest who approved it said, hey, this was a way to generate some money in the church. But of course, the cardinal in the area was like, this isn't a good look because she's scantily dressed and this is not the appropriate image that the Catholic Church wants to put out there. So the cardinal decided to go and do a little research into seeing what other shady things the priest was doing in his parish.
I love it.
And that's how they found out the priest's connection to Eric Adams. And
really?
That's how it all started. So Sabrina Carpenter just did a concert at Madison Square Garden. She's like, so that happened. I took down the mayor.
Whoops. Is he going to end up in jail over this deal?
It's not looking good. At least we'll put it that way. It's not looking good.
God, is there a politician out there that's not filthy? Good God, these people, the filthiest people. Well, I suppose they've always been that way, haven't they?
Yeah, I think they're just getting caught,
there you go, John Lindsay.
I think they're getting caught at a faster rate than they used to.
So you just think it's always happened?
I think it always happens.
Yeah,
I think people are asking for accountability of their public figures. That includes celebrities. And I think people are willing to sing when they need to. And I always think it's interesting when a politician refuses to leave office, even though there's heavy evidence against them. It always makes me think they're super guilty, because the ones that aren't guilty are like, you know what? I'm going to step back. I don't want to be a distraction to this office. I'll clear my name. And then, you guys can carry on with the business of running New York City.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. No question about it. I don't know, man. People and money, they just money. It's all that matters in their world.
Yeah.
A decent job.
Money and power it's very seductive. And I think once you get a taste of it, and you can either use it for good and, maybe give back to charities and do things like that, or other people just become totally seduced by it and it's completely evil.
All right. I want to take just 2 minutes of your time on this, because in actuality, I wanted to congratulate some people, because I actually did watch the debate last night and I thought they both did a really, really nice job avoiding just pissing all over each other and calling each other names. Obviously the two people running for president can't do that. So it's nice to see their vice presidential candidates can be somewhat decent.
Yes, it was very civil. It felt very old school. And I'm going to say this, but I mean it in a good way. It was kind of boring. And I mean that in a way.
I agree. I think the Democratic handlers went too far with Tim Walz. I mean, they made him take his glasses off. They cut his hair. And he kind of looked like Ed Asner.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, what is Ed Asner doing running for vice president?
But I just like they didn't just slit each other's throats.
Yeah,
And
they shook hands before and after. You saw a conversation.
Yeah.
There wasn't any of that like body language that you see when people get tense that they're around each other. I thought they both handled each other as they should.
That effect on people.
It's true. No, good. I'm glad you see the same thing that I saw. It was nice to see two people, and they weren't faking it either. They just doing their job. I thought that was great.
Well, I think they were both playing to the middle. Those very that slim 1 or 2% that can go either side of the line, rather than the bomb throwers from the far right and the far left.
That's true. Tell them to calm down. All right. So what else should I be watching, sister?
Well, I was going to just mention something, because I feel like we've been losing celebrities left and right lately. I don't know what's happening. It always comes in batches.
Yep.
But John Amos passed away.
Love him.
From Good Times, of course. He's the last of the Mary Tyler Moore Show cast who is alive.
Yep.
But I don't know if people realize this. His daughter has been in a fight with his son. There's been a big elder abuse claim. And the son did not let the rest of the family know that he had died. He's been dead for 45 days, you guys. He died August 21st.
No.
And the daughter, Shannon, found out like we all did in the papers, in the media, on social media.
That's nasty.
Yeah. So they have a big estate fight up ahead, unfortunately.
It's like Ted Williams' kid. They were fighting over his head.
That's,
he
that's
had
right.
his head frozen, and the kids were fighting over it.
It's not really sitting on a tuna can, though. They
I don't
complain
think
it's on.
so.
They could.
I
They
think it's
try
a
to say
little more
sitting on a tuna.
sophisticated than
Yes,
that.
exactly. It's exactly. Yeah, that whole situation is just so sad. John Amos was terrific. I always liked that show. Was really good. I got a little tired of Dynamite after a while, but
Well, I don't know if anyone remembers, Norman Lear fired John Amos in season 3.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So they had Norman Lear and John Amos had a falling out in season 3. They just did not get along. So he left the show in season 3, and Norman Lear was just so pissed off at him that he killed off the character in season 4.
Whoops.
So he could never come back, and that was that.
Oh, God.
I know. It's just, it's so funny how petty some showrunners can be when
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a really brutal fight going on behind the scenes, and they're like, we'll show you, you're never coming back at all.
At all. Yeah, what are you gonna whatever. Settle down, everybody. Good God.
Yeah, but Good Times obviously was a huge part of the landscape and in the 70s, and besides Dynamite, I mean, it also brought us Janet Jackson.
Yeah, that's
Everyone
right.
forgets that Janet Jackson played the daughter in that.
Was she a little heavier when she was a little kid?
She was.
I thought so. I
She
thought
was
it
a
was
little Chubba Lubba.
Yeah,
Yep.
Chubba Lubba. There you Chubba
And then
Lubba.
she went through
A little bit. I mean, I wouldn't go like she was fat. I think she just had baby chub.
Well, I mean, she's a stunningly beautiful woman. There's no question about it.
Gorgeous.
She really is. So, a little extra.
I will
meat on the
stand
bone.
by Rhythm Nation forever. That's probably one of the best
Yeah.
albums that's ever been released.
I would agree. It's a terrific album. No question about it.
Yeah.
All right. Any other horrible shows that would terrify me? Like ones we just already mentioned that you and Doug pushed down.
Monsters. We're like,
Ruined my life.
monsters, just do it.
Monster.
What's interesting about that is, I mean, I'm looking forward to the courtroom scenes because I don't remember what happened. Now I could go on Google and look up, did they find him guilty? But I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But it's to know a little bit about the story because of being alive when it actually happened, but not remembering it. It makes it interesting to watch.
Doug, there's also Netflix has a documentary out this week about the Menendez brothers. So maybe after you watch the series, you can go back and watch the documentary just to fill in those details, because we know that Ryan Murphy takes a lot of liberties with his versions of the story. So
yeah, it's true. All right. So anything in closing?
Anything in closing, make sure your state is in tip-top shape, because that's the John Amos lesson to be learned, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen, real quick, because I know that Diddy hired a new lawyer, and there's
Oh, God.
120 new cases or like 120 new, I guess, victims that are coming forward or survivors that are coming forward.
Oh.
And the lawyer for the victims said that the list of Diddy's accomplices will shock you, and he's recommending that people come forward before they just out them. What's the vibe around Hollywood? Are people kind of on edge? Is anybody talking about it?
Check in on Ed Begley Jr. and make sure my guy's okay.
Sure.
Oh, Ed is clean. That is what we love about Ed. He's such a sweet guy.
Yep.
I mean, there are rumors about certain people that, they're lawyering up when they're figuring things out behind the scenes. I think there are some people who legitimately should be worried. The youngest victim at the time when some of these allegations happened was a 9-year-old boy.
Jesus.
And I want people to understand that there will be lawsuits filed, I believe, in Los Angeles, New York, as well as Miami. They sorted through 3,000 people who called in. They've whittled it down to 120 people who they feel like have a strong case and a valid case that they can prove. These are going to be civil cases, of course, but this is not looking good for Diddy and his lawyer, who keeps on going, it's fine. These are just all people who are, making up stories or want to take him down. I'll always go back to the Bill Cosby story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, he told us all along what he was doing. Diddy was doing the same thing. He was telling us in plain sight what he was doing all along. And if anyone knows where all the bodies are buried and what was really going on, is Wendy Williams. And I wish she was in better health. I know she spoke out today saying it's about time Diddy got taken down. But I don't know if a lot of people know, Wendy Williams was entrenched in the early hip hop scene. She was a DJ at the time, a radio personality.
Yep.
And she knew everything that was happening. And it's one of those things that she's just like, is long overdue that Diddy gets his due.
Well, I mean, it's Thursday tomorrow, so is there any way we can hold off when they take you into custody? Can we do it after the show on Friday?
What am I doing? What am I going to be arrested for? I want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Cuddling my cats too much.
Cuddling your cat too much, exactly.
Yeah. Squeezing them a little extra hard because they're so cute and fuzzy.
They are cute and fuzzy.
Charge. They
No
are.
question. Another magnificent. Look at all we learned today. Oh, nobody reacts.
That's because I'm a slow learner. Your first guest insulted me right out of the gate.
Doug is still figuring out his password.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, young lady, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you all tomorrow. Have a great one, guys.
Bye, Chris.
You too. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, closing words. Anyone?
Everybody go to YouTube and subscribe and watch the show on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
all
we should probably push YouTube more than we do.
Yeah, we've started to get a couple more subscribers, but if you haven't done so already, go on there, leave a comment, subscribe,
And Tanner,
share the show.
what should people search for somebody that maybe hasn't used YouTube?
I'm glad you asked. You just go onto YouTube, youtube.com, or the app, and you search the Tom Barnard Show.
That's what you do?
Yeah, and it'll pop right up. Just see
Perfect.
Tom's beautiful face, AJ's beautiful face, my ugly
Beautiful
mug.
face.
I'm glad. Hey, that was nice. I wasn't expecting a compliment like that.
Wow.
I was.
And then Doug is here.
More.
Yeah, and Doug.
And then
Thanks a
Doug
lot. Well, you can check out the Tom Barnard Podcast Facebook page as well.
You know, I've just picked up like several hundred more new followers.
I know we're going to talk about that in our marketing meeting after the family podcast.
No, we aren't going to do that.
Got a couple of things that we can
Yeah,
put
we
it over
picked
the
up a lot.
top with.
It's gone very, very nicely.
Yeah.
It's picking up
Yeah, it
beautifully.
is.
All right, try to behave, all of you. The family shows up in about 10 minutes.